Welcome to Season 2, Episode 29 of the BRASH Sports Podcast, brought to you by Eating Over the Sink. Are you tired, lonely, sick of doing dishes? If you said yes to any of these, give Eating Over the Sink a try. It's the perfect way to enjoy sandwiches, snacks, or leftovers from a meal you had 15 minutes ago. If you have kids, it's the perfect way to stress eat all your cares away without exposing them to how much of an anxiety-riddled nightmare of a person you are. And the best part is, no mess. So the next time you get a craving for your 400th calorie of the day, save yourself the embarrassment of human interaction and eat over the safety and convenience of the sink. When you do, be sure to use promo code BRASH33 to save an additional 20%. Eating over the sink. 5 out of 5 doctors agree the sink is the place to be. So Brandon, today's a big day because it's our Earth Day extravaganza. We have a lot to get into for that. Mainly, we're both wearing green.
As is tradition starting today, the Earth Day extravaganza is a big deal
Very
here
big deal.
at BRASH headquarters and BRASH Nation in general. I mean, we've been counting down the days, Josh, waiting for the Earth Day extravaganza because the Earth Day extravaganza also happens to be our episode right before the NFL draft. So that it's a big part of the Earth Day extravaganza. So happy Earth Day to you. And
Thank you.
we're just going to make it clear right here, right now, that this will be posted on Earth Day, but we are recording on Friday. So
That's true. We definitely don't want to mislead anybody with when we're going to be recording and when it gets released. And yeah, I'm excited. We got a lot of stuff to get into.
Yeah, that's not what we're about here. Brash is misleading our audience.
No,
at all.
Never.
Let's jump right into our today's starting lineup. Of course, we're going to bust open the Brash Sports page and discuss a few top headlines. We will do a quick NBA and NHL playoffs update. And we're planning on being joined, Josh, by Mel Kiper and Todd McShay as we discuss the upcoming NFL draft.
Very excited for that.
Fast approaching. I'm so happy we were able to get them on board. And then Josh and I will share our very own mock drafts. We're going to go through picks 1 through 10, spreading our knowledge all around because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and we gotta give Mel and Todd a piece of our minds. They think they're the experts. We know what we're talking about, so we gotta hold our own in that regard.
We're gonna prove ourselves.
Yeah,
and of course we will have to talk about the Skins and the Giants, their day one predictions, wish list, anything really you want to touch on. And then of course we're gonna get into our Brash World Rankings, top 5 things white people love. That's what we're going to get into today.
Yep. So, it will be official. It will be official after today, the top 5 for the world rankings of things white people love. And we happen to be experts on the subject due to the fact that we're both painfully white.
All right, bud. So, guess we'll just dive right into the Brash Sports page. What do you say?
I say we do that. It sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, it's not really a whole lot going on the Brash Sports page, to be completely honest with you. But did want to mention that the Washington Commanders sale still not yet official. It's a joke, man. I mean, we had the breaking news not that long ago that the deal was done, but apparently the sale from Dan Snyder to the Josh Harris Group for the $6 billion asking price. It is moving forward. The NFL has officially received the details of the transaction, but the deal it's expected to set the NFL record for most expensive sale in league history, which will be leapfrogging the previous record of $4.65 billion. That was set just last year for the sale of the Denver Broncos, but the NFL's full vetting process doesn't begin until a winning bidder is officially selected. So you'd think that'd be happening soon. And the application accompanied with a certified check for $25,000 is sent to the league office. And that will kickstart a review of the bidding group that typically takes more than a month before the ownership vote is scheduled. And when it comes to the ownership vote, it requires a 3/4 vote. So at least 24 owners voting the approval of the sale, which you imagine it'll be
Yeah.
unanimous down the line.
Unanimous. They can't wait to get rid of Dan Snyder.
All right. So, yeah, really, to touch on that a little bit, I mean, again, it's not moving fast enough. I really thought this was going to be done by now. And, here we are a week away from the NFL draft, and we still don't have the new owners in place.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but you just gotta do one step at a time, keep heading toward the light at the end of the tunnel. The Dan Snyder days are soon to be over, so it's great news for Skins fans. And of course, it's like it couldn't possibly be fast enough because of how badly you want him out. So even a day feels like an eternity, right? One cool thing that I saw was Joe Gibbs might be jumping on as a partial owner. Like that would be fucking really cool. I would love to see that. So I hope he gets involved too. It's like him and Magic Johnson and a bunch of like really cool people involved in this deal. So exciting times, man.
Yeah,
Exciting times.
I heard there's anywhere from like 10 to 13 minority owners, potentially, and of course, the biggest name that caught my eye, that is, as far as I'm concerned, official is Magic Johnson. But yeah, the Joe Gibbs, that's news. That's more of just a rumor at this stage, but I hope that's true. I mean, that would just make it picture perfect right there. For all
Right.
Skins fans to have Joe Gibbs as part of the ownership group. Come on. Now, what worries me about Dan Snyder still owning the team as they go into the draft, as spiteful as this guy is, could he just completely sabotage the draft and draft 4 punters with the first 4 picks? You never know.
I don't think so,
Okay.
but I don't know. I guess crazier things have happened. I don't think sabotage is going to be one of them, though.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he does want to sell this thing, right? And he's got to pack up and move to London already. So, moving right along to our next headline, 5 NFL players have been suspended for sports betting. This was actually breaking news today. 4 Detroit Lions players, 1 Washington Commanders player, of course, have been suspended for violating the NFL's gambling policy after investigation by the league. Lions wide receiver Quintez, is it pronounced Cephas?
Cephas?
Quintez Cephas and safety CJ Moore, they've been suspended indefinitely for betting on NFL games because they're just fucking retarded. As was Washington Commanders defensive end Shaka Toney. So Shaka Toney the door. They can reapply for reinstatement after 1 year, but Detroit has already announced that they have cut ties with Moore and Cephas. Both have been released from the Lions locker room. So see you later, alligator. The 2022 first round pick Jameis Williams was the biggest name of the bunch here for the Detroit Lions. Him and Stanley Berryhill, they don't really even mention what position he is because nobody cares.
Yeah.
They've been suspended for only 6 games for betting because they did not bet on NFL games.
Right.
So they just kept it to other sports. You told me that they are allowed to bet on other sports. They just can't do it at a team's facility. So
right. Gamble in the comfort of your own home, or send a text to a friend. Say like, "Hey, dude, can you put some money on this game for me, please?" Like,
so what is the purpose of that one though? Like, what am I missing here in terms of why they don't want players betting on their phone in the team facility?
I have no idea. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. It seems like one of those things that's just a rule for the sake of being a rule. Like if you're betting on other sports, it shouldn't matter whether you're doing it at home or at the Lions facility. And like one thing I was thinking about was like I've worked for a lot of companies that block YouTube from the servers. Like why don't they just have these websites blocked if they don't want people gambling at their facilities?
Yep.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I'm sure they could figure that out. But also, like, dude, you guys you couldn't wait, or you couldn't do it before you went to the facility, or you couldn't text a buddy. Like, I don't know. It's such a simple rule. There's no excuse for not following it. I don't know why the rule exists. It does seem kind of dumb, but it still exists, and I'm sure that they are aware of the rule. So like, just don't break it. It's not that hard. Like, I don't understand. It really doesn't make any sense to me.
And you're rich. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Leave the betting for us poor folk,
Yeah,
okay?
us degenerates, please.
But the biggest headline, Josh, of the week. I mean, this one caught my eye.
Yeah.
I'm sure it caught yours. It was all over the place. You'd have to be living under a rock to not hear about this. The projected number one pick in the upcoming NBA draft, Victor Wembanyama, was seen with Barack Obama racing llamas in the Bahamas. I mean, it's unbelievable. You have to check Brash Plus now for a complete breakdown and video of the spectacle, because it was a spectacle. I mean, I can't believe we got our hands on the footage.
It absolutely blew my mind. Go to Brash Plus right now. Go check it out. Do yourself a favor. It's a sight worth seeing.
You won't believe your eyes.
You will not believe your eyes.
It'll be one of those things you'll remember for the rest of your days here on planet Earth. Happy Earth Day, everybody. All right. Let's go through a quick NBA playoffs update. Get everybody caught up. Again, we are recording on a Friday. We are posting on a Saturday. But, things are about to change with 3 games being played this evening. Actually, one probably underway as we speak.
One's
which
already
would
going,
be
yeah.
Boston and Atlanta, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
Yes.
Boston currently leading the Hawks 2-0 in that series. Not a complete shocker there. Atlanta doesn't have a great history in the NBA playoffs. I had the Boston Celtics actually winning that series in 5. So wouldn't be surprised if they get the brooms out and give a little sweep. But I have them beating Atlanta in 5. Where did you have?
I'm pretty sure I had Celtics in 5 as well.
You don't have your list in front of you, I see.
No, I got to change tabs here. Oh, no, I had the sweep. I had
You
the
do have the
Celtics
sweep.
busting out the broom. Celtics in
Okay.
4.
All right. Well, that's still looking good. Cleveland Cavaliers, they are currently tied with the New York Knicks. The Knickerbockers, that 1 game apiece. I do have the Knicks, or have in my previous prediction, them winning that series, but I have it going to 7. So, I still actually like that. I really like that.
Dude, it looks like it could be a 7-game series, knockdown, drag out. I've got Cavs in 5, so I need some wins pretty quickly.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you need them to sweep from here on out.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets, they're leading Minnesota Timberwolves 2-0 right now. Again, not much of a shocker there. I have the Nuggets winning that one in 5. So that's still looking pretty good. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they got the brooms out, because, again, Denver and Boston are that damn good this year.
Yeah, I've got the brooms. I got the brooms for this series, so Nuggets in 4, looking good.
The Philly 76ers, they are leading Brooklyn, 3-0. So that one, I did not have any broom action. I have the Sixers winning the series, but I had them winning in 6. So I don't know. That one's not looking too hot right now. That prediction probably won't hold up.
I've got 76ers in 5. Now, you do see this often when you have like a team go up 3-0, they'll potentially lose that 4th game so that they can win the series at home. Not super common in the first round, but we'll see. There's a chance. 76ers in 5. I'm holding on hope.
Moving right along, the Phoenix Suns, they are leading the LA Clippers after 3 games 2-1. And once again, I do have the Phoenix Suns getting the win in that series, but I have it in 6. Man, I'm really liking the 6s over here.
I've Suns in 6 as well. The whole Kawhi Leonard thing, man. I don't understand his injuries, when he's playing, when he's not. Clippers, you got to cut ties with the guy. Unfortunately, I'm a big Kawhi Leonard fan. I think when he plays, he's one of the best guys in the league. But fuck, dude, you just cannot depend on this guy to show up when you need him. They dropped a huge game last night because he was out. You got to move on.
So, are you thinking that perhaps his injury isn't as severe as as to miss a game? Like he should be out there. Like I don't even know what the injury is.
Well, that's just it. Nobody does, right? But
Oh,
he had.
They don't have to report that. Okay.
Yeah, so he had issues game 1, and then he played game 2 and played great game 2, and then game 3 he's just kind of out of nowhere. I don't know. It's very strange. The whole situation strange. He doesn't communicate with coaches or any of the athletic team. He just kind of does his own thing. He's not a good leader. He's just not a, I don't know. He's not a great guy to have on a team when you're trying to make a run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, man, Kawhi Leonard, you gotta go, buddy.
Well, who cares? I don't care about the Clippers.
I don't either.
And I want to see the Phoenix go as far as possible. So
absolutely,
go Suns. Milwaukee Bucks currently tied in the series with the Miami Heat, 1 game apiece. That one, of course, I did have a sweep. I had the Bucks getting the brooms out, knocking Miami out with ease. I still think they could win in 5.
Yeah, I had Bucks in 5. Still feel really good about Bucks in 5. They throttled them the other night without Giannis, so they should be able to.
Yep.
They should be able to pull it off.
Another series that is tied at the moment: the Memphis Grizzlies and the LA Lakers, 1 game apiece. I did give the Lakers credit here. I thought they would make it interesting. I still have Grizzlies advancing after 6.
Okay. I had Grizzlies in 7. Grizzlies in 7 is where I had it. But they're playing great even without Ja Morant. I have no fears for the Grizzlies. I think they're going to pull it off.
And finally, the Sacramento Kings, who I gave no credit to whatsoever when we were making our predictions. They are leading the Golden State Warriors in that series 2-1. Josh, what happened? I had the Warriors getting the sweep. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Yeah, I have Warriors in 6. Dude, what happened is the Kings defense is showing up. They're playing hard on the defensive end all season long. They gave up more points than any other team. They're a high scoring team, but they just let up a lot of points. So I figured the Warriors are going to take advantage of this. They're going to be able to slow down the Kings, and to some extent they have. I think right now the Kings have the worst 3-point percentage of any team in the playoffs right now. So the Warriors are doing a good job mitigating some of that Kings offense, but the Warriors can't get their offense together now. So I do expect this to go probably 7 games. And because the Kings are going to be at home for that 7th and the Warriors have been so bad on the road, I think it could be trouble. Big trouble in little Golden State.
All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. That's our NBA playoffs update. Again, 3 of those games, of course, will be a different update by the time we get this posted on Earth Day. But hey, we're doing the best we can over here. Okay.
Yeah. Quit riding our ass.
So back off.
Yeah. We're sick of that shit. Sick of all the pressure you guys put on us.
Let's move right along. We're going to make this nice and quick. The NHL playoffs update, Josh. I know you've been watching closely every single second of every single game. Your Carolina Hurricanes, they are leading the New York Islanders 2-0. I believe you had a sweep in that one, if I remember correctly.
I had the opposite of a sweep. I had Carolina in 7.
Ooh, okay, my bad. I knew you were high on the Canes.
Very high on the Canes, but dude, I had a lot of like longer series because just it always seems like these Stanley Cup series play out a long time. So yeah, Canes are looking real good.
Yeah,
So
I did have Canes advancing. I had Canes in 5.
I had Canes in 7. I have them going all the way to the Cup. So I need them to keep this momentum up.
Again, I do believe that they are on the ice as we speak. So
Are they?
who knows? Who knows what's going on? I don't have it in front of me. Could look it up.
I think they played last night because
Oh, was it last night? Okay.
friend of the show, Will, was at the game. Oh no, they're playing right now.
Okay. They are playing
They're
right now.
on the
Okay.
ice, so it must have been 2 nights ago.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right. There's 2 games going on right now. Shit. Holy shit. Speaking of the other game that's going on right now, the Boston Bruins. My champion pick right there. They are tied with Florida Panthers, 1-1 in that series. And hey, we can say it. By the time this is posted, everyone's going to know that Boston has drew first blood in this one. They are leading 1-0 in their third game right now as we speak. Dallas Stars, they are tied with Minnesota Wild 1-1. Edmonton Oilers also tied in that series, a game apiece with the LA Kings. The Vegas Knights, those golden
shower
those
nights.
filthy golden shower nights, they are tied also a game apiece with the Winnipeg Jets. And the Maple Leafs at the moment tied with the Lightning, a game apiece. It's crazy. I mean, all the games tied all series rather, a game apiece except for 2. Of course, we mentioned the Hurricanes earlier, but the other one, there they are. The New Jersey Devils, don't look now, but they are leading 2-0 over. Or no, do I have that backwards?
I think they're losing to nil.
Oh, okay. Fuck. I can tell by the look on your face. You're like, no.
Well, because
no.
you and I both had the Devils, and I'm 99% sure Daniel had the Rangers.
Yep. It is Rangers. God damn it. So the
Yeah.
Rangers have the 2-0 edge there. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. That Daniel sure knows his hockey.
My biggest upset of the first round, we're seeing the Seattle Kraken knock out the defending champion Colorado Avalanche. That series, Josh, currently tied at a game apiece. So come on, Seattle, get Kraken.
Oh, I like that.
Heard something funny the other day on the radio. Apparently, the Seattle fans could be, somebody said this. And I kind of turned it on late. So I just kind of caught the middle of it, or jumped in at the middle, I should say. But they were talking about how they call the arena where the Kraken play, the fans call it the Crack House. Thought that was
dude, I love that.
Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, Josh, you said you wanted me to set 50 minutes aside so you could give your insight into what was going on in the NHL playoffs. Is that right?
Well, I really wanted to talk about a coaching carousel.
Yes,
So
yes.
I had to set aside some time for that. No, dude, I haven't given the Stanley Cup playoffs enough.
Brash Plus.
Yeah. You got to subscribe to Brash Plus to get the full breakdown.
If you mean quickly following the video of Victor Wembanyama and Barack Obama racing llamas in the Bahamas, you will then be able to see Josh's full in-depth NHL playoff breakdown. So, there you go.
For the low price of $179.99 a month.
It's only $179.99, but that's a steal of a deal for the videos that we're going to be able to bring you, along just with supreme NHL content brought to you by Josh. So it's just you can't get it anywhere else. You gotta subscribe to Brash Plus right now. Strike while the iron's hot, because the price is only going to get higher and higher and higher. You want to lock in, people. You want to lock in this deal now. And there's no password sharing. We made sure that wasn't an option from the beginning. So
you will go straight to jail if you share your password.
There's public shaming actually in the contract for anyone who shares or takes part in any way of any password shaming. So
very true.
You will be tarred. You will be feathered.
Those terms and conditions that we wrote out are fucking stiff.
It is, man. Hey, it's hard to do what we do. So we're not fucking around. If you want to steal content or borrow from somebody else, you're going to be tar and feathered, and that's just the way it's going to be.
That's the way
Uh,
it is.
you want to jump into our NFL draft talk? I mean, I think we have a couple of guests that have been waiting in the. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, you gotta be kidding
God
me.
damn it.
Oh my God. Okay. So apparently there was some confusion with Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. They did not know that they were going to be on Brash Sports. They thought they were going to be on some legitimate platform with a lot of viewers and subscribers. So they bounced out. They took off as soon as they realized what they were in line for. So that's a shame, man. You know what? Fuck them. I
Yeah.
was really excited to share my mock draft with them and compare notes. Kind of get our feet in the door, right? But
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they could take some knowledge from us, but I guess they have their own
whatever.
prerogative, and it's not like it's a super busy
Pretentious
time of year for those guys.
assholes. That's all I got to say about
Yeah,
that.
it's like Smell Kiper and Todd McGay.
Yeah, we don't want them.
We don't want them.
No, we don't want smelly and gay. All right. So let's go ahead. Jump into our top 10 mock drafts.
Yeah.
Well, I say top 10 picks.
They'll see this eventually, so they can take what we're about to throw out there,
Yep.
and they can use it for their own. They can use it for their advantage when they're out there reporting the draft or whatever it is they're doing. So
They'll
you want to
regret.
start off?
They'll regret
Start
it.
off with yours.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll go pick for pick, right? Tit for tat.
Tit for tat. Let's do it.
Tit for tat it is. The Carolina Panthers, of course, kicking things off after making the big trade with the Chicago Bears to get that #1 overall stinkeroo. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. You convinced me that a team does not make this big of a splash if they are not going to shore up, in their minds, the quarterback position.
Right.
So just, given from what I've seen and the little I know about college football, I have the Carolina Panthers drafting Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback Bryce Young with the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, I went the same route. Now, I did think for a long time my gut was telling me that they were going to get CJ Stroud, but
Okay.
I think they're going to move off Stroud and go with Bryce Young instead. Stroud just like bombed his. It's not a Wonderlic test, but it's very similar. He just did horribly on it. His stock is really falling, and Bryce Young's only gets higher and higher from what I can tell. So I think that's who the Panthers are going to go with. But they're definitely going quarterback. They're not going to go. They're not going to fucking sell their future for a non-quarterback pick here. It's going to be a quarterback, and I think it's going to be Bryce Young.
The Wonderlic, is that the like intelligence type of deal, or is that
it's kind of like an IQ test, but it's a lot about like how like cognitive and how quick you are, and it tests a lot of different things. But yeah,
that's that's Wonderlic. It's better than them blindfolding you and saying, "Okay, lick this." Wonder what that is?
Do you wonder what that is?
All right, now lick this. Oh my God!
Well, they used to do the Wonder Sniff, but then they switched to the Wonder Lick.
Yeah, I know.
It's really gone downhill.
It's pointless, I mean, why are they having these prospects lick things? It doesn't make. It's like, that was your thumb. He got it. He's acing this thing.
Draft him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Guess we'll go to the #2 pick, Josh. The Houston Texans hold that #2 spot. And again, I just made an educated guess here. Yes, they need help at the quarterback position. I'm personally just, none of these quarterbacks really stand out to me. So I feel like the only reason I went with the Panthers getting the quarterback #1 is because of the move they had to make to get that spot. The #2 overall pick, I don't have Houston going to get a quarterback. I have them getting the #1 overall prospect in Will Anderson Jr., the defensive end out of Bama. So 2 Bama's in the first 2 picks.
I was afraid you were going to do that.
Uh-oh.
I did the exact same thing.
Oh,
I think
damn.
Houston is going to look at it and say, Davis Mills is good enough. The quarterback class is better next year. Let's go ahead and get the pieces around this guy. And yeah, the best overall talent is the pass rusher Will Anderson out of Alabama. So I think that's who they're going to go with. I'm with you.
Wow, look at
Most
that.
people have them getting a quarterback, and I agree with you. I don't really see the point. Davis Mills isn't terrible, and if the quarterback class is better next year, and they're not like Houston's never really been in a rush to go out and win a Super Bowl, so like do it slowly, do it right. Will Anderson to me is the no brainer pick here.
Yeah, it feels like a safer pick, right?
Yeah.
Immediate impact type deal for Will Anderson. All right. Wow. Oh, look at that. We are right on the same page with our first 2 picks. Let's go to number 3, where the Arizona Cardinals sit. I wanted to get a little bit interesting here. I went a little bit more traditional, I suppose, with your top 5 pick. I have the Arizona Cardinals drafting offensive tackle Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern, who, by all accounts, is the leading tackle in this year's draft. So,
Consensus like number 1 offensive lineman.
yeah.
I like that pick. They could definitely use help on their O line. I have them going a different direction. I have them getting a defensive tackle, Jalen Carter out of Georgia. Big, big boy, causes problems in the trenches. I think he's had some off-field stuff, which
Yeah.
has kind of made his stock drop. But they're the Cardinals. They don't give a shit about that. They're a terribly run organization. They're going to look right through that and go, give us the biggest guy you can,
Mm-hmm.
shove him in the trenches, have him get after the quarterback, have him clog up those running lanes. And I think it'll actually end up being a really good pick for him. So I have Jalen Carter going to the Cardinals.
I just realized I didn't notice this until just now that your picks were right underneath mine and I wasn't looking at them. So now I just covered them up because I don't want to see anymore.
Yeah, I'm looking directly at yours. There's
That's
actually
a
I
shame.
can here.
That's a shame.
Now I can't see them anymore.
All right. So there we go. We finally differ with the number 3 overall pick. Doesn't matter who the Cardinals pick because they're going to suck next year anyway. So let's move right along to the Indianapolis Colts, who will hold the number 4 overall spot. Again, the likelihood that somewhere in this top 10 a team trades back is high.
Right, very high.
You could get, probably 2, more picks or 3 more picks, by moving back in that top 10 spot. So we just have to, for the sake of our mock drafts, hold to it, the order as it is. With that said, I got the Indianapolis Colts actually going with CJ Stroud out of Ohio State. So they, in their heads, find their quarterback of the future, and they don't care, what he's licking and what he guessed. He is their quarterback moving forward. So CJ Stroud to the Indianapolis Colts. To hell with the Wonderlick.
Yeah, they don't have to wonder what he's looking at all. And I'm with you 100%. CJ Stroud. They are desperate for a quarterback. They're going to force it one way or another. It could be a situation where Anthony Richardson or Will Levis jumps up to that spot because their scouts like him more, maybe. But I think CJ Stroud is the safest of the rest of them. So they're going to go with CJ Stroud.
Okay, there we go. Right back on track. Here we are. Number five, the Seattle Seahawks, who obtained that pick from the Broncos. This was for the Russell Wilson trade,
Yep.
or as a result of the Russell Wilson trade. I have the Seattle Seahawks using that draft spot to bring in Tyree Wilson, defensive end edge rusher for Texas Tech. Don't know anything about him. I just saw how big he was, and he's
He's a
fast.
big dude.
So it's like, dude, that's a solid pick. And and Seattle likes those mean dudes on the defensive line. So
Yeah.
there you go.
No, I think that would be a really smart pick for them. I think that they need to develop that pass rush. But here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to look at it and go, this is a free pick, right? We never in a million years thought we would get the 5th overall pick unless it was our own. But this is just a freebie. We need to think about the future. We
Oh, I know
didn't
what you're
have to
doing.
we didn't have to really give up anything to be drafting this high. And Anthony Richardson is sitting there staring us right in the face. Let's take a chance. Let's roll the dice. Let's see if this guy could be a playmaker in the NFL. He's got the speed, he's got the arm. He's obviously more of a project than anything, but they already have a good team together and they have a quarterback that's manageable for the next couple years. Bring in Anthony Richardson and see if you can't find your quarterback of the long-term future in this guy. Again, it's a free pick. It's like finding a lottery scratcher on the street. You're not going to scratch it. Of course you're going to scratch it. This to me is like playing the lottery. You could win the jackpot with this guy. He's an athletic freak. So why not see what you got? You're
Yeah,
not giving up
no,
anything.
that
So
is true.
Anthony
I
Richardson.
I did for a split second think about going the quarterback route with the Seattle Seahawks there. The thing that shied me away is that they just gave Geno that 3-year, $75 million contract.
They did.
So for that 5th overall pick, again, they want somebody they can put out on the field this season, make an immediate impact, and put some opposing quarterbacks' asses right on the turf. So that's why I went with the defensive end, Tyree Wilson.
That's definitely the smart, safe play for sure.
Detroit Lions sitting at number 6. They obtained this pick from the Rams. Was this part of the Jared Goff thing or?
Yep. Jared Goff, Matt Stafford.
Okay. Gotcha. So, good deal for the Lions right there. They lucked out by getting that 6th spot. And I'm sticking with the defensive line. I have them going after Jalen Carter. You mentioned him earlier, defensive tackle out of Georgia. So, again, it's just, it appears to be a no-brainer, a no-lose type of pick, right? Now,
Yeah,
you
if he's
never know.
still there, if he is still there, they should absolutely grab him. But I don't think he will be, and I think they're going to try and help out their secondary. They're going to go with Devin Witherspoon, the number 1 cornerback in this draft class out of Illinois. From what I can tell, he's really good. I don't know. Cornerbacks seem to be very hit or miss, but I think that's an area of need for the Lions. Their defense was atrocious last year, and their secondary was among the worst in the NFL. So I see them going cornerback here.
All right. Moving right along, number 7, the Las Vegas Raiders. I was just drawing a blank in all honesty when I thought about the Raiders. I'm like, what in the hell are the Raiders going to do? Remind me again. Oh my God. Talk about drawing a blank. What did they end up doing at the quarterback position?
Oh, they got rid of Derek Carr.
I know that.
I don't know if they've brought anybody in.
Ooh, okay. See, so, there's potential there for them to make a splash at number 7. Because I only have, from my mock draft, I only have 2 quarterbacks off the board thus far. So, that Anthony Richardson would be interesting because, again, the guy's a freak. And that would just be a fun and exciting pick for Raiders Nation. But I went with the boring pick. I went with Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle out of the Ohio State University. That's where I have the Raiders going. They go with their head over their heart, and they make what they believe is the smarter pick. And they probably just, have like a Redskins type season with, quarterback by community type deal.
Did Jimmy G end up going to the Raiders?
That's it.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's it,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah.
Now I really like my offensive tackle
Yeah.
pick right there.
It
Yeah.
took me a while, but yeah, Jimmy G is to the Raiders, so they don't need a quarterback. I think they're going to go back toward the defensive back area. Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon feels like the right play for the Raiders to
Ooh,
me.
okay.
Cornerback at 6 and 7.
All right.
Why not?
I like it.
Send your hate mail in.
Raiders
I don't
fans
care.
everywhere are livid with our two picks for their team.
They
are
hate,
not,
dude.
yeah.
Just so boring. They hate it, but I don't give a shit.
Send all your frustrated comments to Cindy at brashsports.com, along, of course, as always, with a copy of your resume.
You must.
Only emails with the attached resume will, in fact, be open and read by Brash Sports. So
Correct.
keep that in mind. The Atlanta Falcons are sitting at number 8, Josh. And I really, 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 really like this one because I have them going with Broderick Jones, who I believe is probably the number 1 overall tackle in the draft. And he's a Georgia Bulldog, so he doesn't have to go too far to join the Atlanta Falcons. And I do think they're going to roll with Desmond Ridder this upcoming season. So they're going to try to get him as much protection as possible. And that starts with their first pick in the first round in Broderick Jones.
I like that pick a lot. That makes a lot of sense. I don't think they're going to go with Desmond Ridder. I think they're going to bail on the young man. And I think they're going to give Will Levis a shot.
Ooh,
Quarterback
okay.
out of Kentucky. He is impressing a lot of people at the combine, the scouts. They're all sniffing around Will Levis.
Okay.
So I think that's the play. I'm not sure. I could be way off here. I wish Mel and Todd were here
You know what?
to help.
To hell with them.
To hell with them, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Gut feeling is they go quarterback and they try and get a guy. Will Levis. He is going to be the most boom or bust guy in this draft. He's either going to be incredible or awful. And he's like he reminds me a lot of Jake Locker, who I was a big Jake Locker fan. And when the Titans drafted him, I was like, "Oh, dude, that's a guy. That's going to be their guy." And then he was terrible. So Will Levis to me has a lot of Jake Locker energy, and I think that they're going to take a flyer on him. I don't know.
Well, now remember, the Falcons did make a little bit of a splash when they signed Taylor Heineke.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Get ready, because we will at some point this upcoming season, we will see Heineke start a game for the Falcons. It's gonna happen. So you heard it here first.
I forgot about that blockbuster deal.
Again, all over the place. I mean, you wouldn't be able to avoid it. It's just like the llama racing in the Bahamas. It's all over the place. It's in your face. Can't not see it. Moving right along, number nine, Chicago Bears. They obtained this pick from the Carolina Panthers. I guess this was part of the trade that brought the Panthers up to that number 1 overall slot. I have them getting Devin Witherspoon, the top cornerback out of Illinois, with their number 9 pick, which they would feel is probably a steal there at number 9.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed about you like putting guys who went to a college in that state or that area.
That one was just a coincidence. I thought about it with Broderick Jones, but the Devin Witherspoon, I just thought, that one just made sense. But yeah, okay. I didn't even think about Chicago, Illinois. I really didn't.
Well, what's funny is I have him drafting a guy that played at a college in Chicago. I have them shoring up that offensive line
Okay.
to give Justin Fields a little bit more time to fucking collect his thoughts in the backfield. I went Peter Skoronsky out of Northwestern, who is a steal at number 9. Again, played college in Chicago. Might as well just stay there. Shore up that O line for Justin Fields. Makes all the sense in the world
Yeah,
to me.
no, I don't
He's
hate
still
it.
there. If he's still there.
I don't hate it at all. But what I do hate is seeing the Philadelphia Eagles in the number 10 spot. That I don't
Ugh,
like.
the
Yeah,
worst.
thanks New Orleans.
Yeah.
They were just trash this past season, so they've handed Philly, who was in the Super Bowl, as we all know, the number 10 overall pick. And with that pick, they break my heart by picking the player that I have a close eye on. That's Joey Porter Jr. And you guessed it, cornerback out of Penn State, which here we go again. I wasn't thinking about it, but yes,
I don't
Philadelphia
know.
is in Pennsylvania. But I just feel like that that just makes so much sense right there. Um, Joey Porter Jr. will go in the first round. He won't come back around again. And the Eagles have 2 first round picks then, right? So
Yeah.
but he's not going to be available by the time their next opportunity on the clock. So I think they make a big move and they get Joey Porter Jr. and he ends up being a very good addition to the locker room, unfortunately, for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too. Now I think the Eagles are gonna look offensive line in this draft because they they're gonna lose Lane Johnson and not Travis Kelsey, the other Jason Kelsey, very soon. So I think this is like their
Okay.
last year with those guys. So they're going to try and get some young guns in to kind of carry the torch in the future. And I think Broderick Jones is going to be sitting there. And like you said, he is a fucking monster.
He is.
So if he's available, you got to take him at 10. So I can't see them passing up on. I think Skoronsky or Jones could very easily be there, and they're not going to pass up on either of those guys. So, I think that's probably their biggest area of need, especially looking into the future, is O line. So that's where I see them going.
I like it. I like our top 10, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think they made a lot of sense. I hope when Mel and Todd hear this, they're pissed off that they didn't get to come here and be educated on the spot by our genius insight.
I'm purposely going to keep a close eye on those first top 10 picks, and I'm going to compare our picks with theirs, and we'll see who has
We'll
the better
see.
mock draft. Okay.
Yeah. Sons of
Uh,
bitches.
we did want to discuss our teams who are not taking part in the first 10 picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Redskins, who currently sit at number 16 overall, and the Giants, who sit at 25. I went ahead and made a prediction, and then also what I would like to see happen. So my prediction, I've told you over the past few weeks, I do believe that they're just going to trade back for more picks because whomever it is that they are hoping falls to them at 16 will not be there. And they will grab an offensive tackle later in the first round or early in the second round with their first pick at that point. So that's what I think is going to happen. What I would love to happen is they draft a stud cornerback because there's quite a few to choose from in this draft. And of course, I really like Joey Porter Jr., but there's also that kid out of Miami, or Miami, Maryland, Deontay Banks. A lot of people have them in the mock draft for the Commanders or the Redskins or Washington football team. So,
why not a team right outside of DC, Brandon?
yeah, I
You and
know. Come on, Brandon. What are you doing?
From now on, teams are only allowed to draft kids who went to college near them.
Oh my God, that would
That's
make it
the
so difficult.
rules.
All right. And you actually, I didn't make any Giants. Oh yeah, I did. I did make a Giants prediction. Sorry. I'll just throw it out there, Josh, since you have my note right there in front of your face. I have the Giants going with Quentin Johnston, wide receiver out of TCU, that big old horn frog, joining the G-Men, and they need a big freak of nature wide receiver on that team. So that's what I see the Giants doing at 25.
Could not agree more. That 25th pick is going to be used on a wide receiver. I am very, very confident. Unless somebody falls, that's just such insane value that you can't pass it up. Because realistically, we could use guys on every single unit of our team, except tight end. I would say tight end we're sound, but beyond that, we need guys everywhere. So I think we're going to go wide receiver unless there's tons of value we can't pass up. I did have Quentin Johnson as my pick for the Giants, but I erased it and I went with Zay Flowers because I think Zay Flowers could potentially drop out of Boston College. He's really good. I mean,
he could blossom into something
he
special.
could. Well, we'll see. A lot of people are going to say, "Wow, how did he rose up the draft board?" Anyway, so that's my pick for the Giants.
All right.
And for the Redskins, I was looking through the names, and the name that jumped out to me, I could just picture it. Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, big white boy tight
Nice.
end.
Look
Get
this
that
up.
man. Get that tight end.
That's the whitest name ever.
Oh yeah.
And
I didn't even look up if he was white or not. He has to be with that.
oh,
name.
he's clear.
He's translucent. I mean,
He-
tight end from Utah named Dalton Kincaid. There's no way he is not a blank sheet of printer paper.
Oh, he looks so Mormon. It's not
Yeah.
even funny. But yeah, I mean, he is a freak. 6'4", 240. And they definitely need help at the tight end position. So no, I wouldn't hate that. I would not hate that one bit. Again, another big target for Sam Howell, who I imagine will be our starting quarterback this upcoming season. Yeah, I would not be against that by any means. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, send your mock drafts to Cindy at brashsports.com along with a copy of your resume. And we'll be more than happy to share our thoughts with you. You can share your thoughts with us and what you thought of our top 10 pick mock drafts. So there you have it. That is it. You got anything else you want to add, Josh, before we jump into the official Brash World Rankings?
No. Well, I will add this. Move the draft back to Saturday and Sunday. I miss it. I miss having the draft starting at like noon on Saturday.
Yep. I like that too.
Those were good times, man. They stretched it out, and now it's on a Thursday night, and there's probably going to be NBA playoff games going on. It's like, dude, just Saturday at noon was so perfect. I loved it. And they got greedy, and it's not as good a product now.
No, I agree with you. I know I miss those days. But yeah, they had to put it on prime time. Not only do they have it on prime time, they have like 2 hours worth of pre-show.
So dumb.
It's at the end of the day, it's just a fucking draft, okay? Right. But the NFL is so big, they know people will just have it on in the background anyway because those bastards. We will. Of course I will. All right. Well, that does it. It's time. It's time for the official Brash World Rankings, our top 5. Today, we're going to give our top 5 things white people love. Now, this came pretty easy with us being a couple of white schmucks. So
A cou-
now these aren't
a cou-
necessarily things that we each other like. It's just
correct.
white people in general. We're generalizing white people
We're
because we can. It's the only ethnicity we are allowed to generalize on Brash
very
Sports.
true.
Yeah.
Very true. Unless you want to subscribe to Brash Plus, in which case we will do top 5 things black people love.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
but that's behind the paywall. But no, top 5 things white people love, and it's things that a lot of people can love too, but white people really go above and beyond with their love for these particular things. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Of course. I mean, these are things that when I think of it, I think white people.
Yes.
You know, and let's just be clear here, everybody, okay? Before all the hate mail comes in, because we're going to get a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
We are not saying only white people like these things. We understand there are other people that aren't white that partake in such things. But for our lists, this is what we thought of when we thought what white people love. So just deal with it. All right. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into our number 5 slot. Josh, you want to get us kicked off? Your number
Sure.
5 thing that white people love.
The number 5 thing on my list has really come to light in recent weeks as well. It's actually timed out pretty good for my list. I've got craft beer in my number 5 slot.
Ooh,
White
all
people
right,
go nuts for
that's true.
fucking craft beer, small local
That is a
breweries.
good one. Yeah.
Dude, they're fucking the IPAs and all the
The-
things, and oh, it's a bourbon chocolate stout. Ugh. Dude, it's out of control. White people have gone too far with craft beer,
yeah.
and all the Bud Light situation, that boycott has really, people are doubling down now on craft beer. So you're like, why would anyone drink that stuff anyway when you can go to a local brewery and get a fucking honey blossom IPA? Blah, blah, blah. So stupid. Craft beer, white people
I
go
like it.
nuts for. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a really good one for your number 5 spot. Mine number
Yeah.
5 compared to that is extremely boring, very stereotypical. I'm sure a lot of people probably have this on their top 5 list, but number 5, I have tried and true the franchise that is the Goliath Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
Starbucks coffee. White people, they love their Starbucks every single day, and they love to show everybody, hey, look where I went this morning and waited in line for fucking 30 minutes to get this burnt coffee. I myself am not a Starbucks fan. I don't like the
Neither am
taste of
I.
their coffee. I don't like all that sugary shit that they do either. I'm just a cream guy. Just give me a good cup of Joe with some cream. That's it. No
Dude.
sugar tonight in my coffee.
Oh, but what about your tea?
Well, I guess you got to have a little sugar in your tea unless you're just a psychopath.
All right. No,
Huh.
that is phenomenal. Yeah, white people. Look, they put a heart over the I in my name when they wrote my name on my coffee cup at
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
it on Instagram. Fucking white
They
people.
spelled my name wrong. I'm going to bitch about it. Such a white person thing. Get the fuck out of here. You got your coffee? Leave. All right.
Oh no,
So
that's really good. That is a really good one.
Starbucks had to make my list. So I
Yeah.
just got it out of the way with my number 5 spot. So we can move right along to our number 4, Josh. What you got?
Number 4, I had to make it kind of broad because as I was making the list in my head, a lot of things were coming at me, like hockey and snowboarding and cross country skiing and curling.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Wow.
these things fall under the category of winter sports.
That's a
So
good one.
I just made winter sports its own thing. White people go nuts for it. The Winter Olympics every 4 years, you see white people everywhere going bananas. Um, People going to fucking Vail, Colorado because they gotta get the fresh powder. Like it's just some white ass shit. And nothing's whiter than snow. So it had to make the list. And yeah, dude, winter sports in general. white people go
That
crazy for.
that is a solid list you're putting together over there.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I, I'm throwing a little bit of a curveball here with my number 4, but again, it's something when I think about it, I think white people. In this case, kind of like Starbucks. I just think just hoity-toity type of white people think their shit doesn't stink. The bitch complain about everything if they don't agree with it. I'm going number 4, country clubs, Josh. Country clubs.
Oh,
It's my number
yeah.
4 slot on
Oh, yeah.
things white people love. Let's pay this club thousands of dollars a year so we can be considered members. Oh, really? What do you get out of that? Oh, we get to play golf there and eat their food and
But
shop at their golf store. And really, that's it? But you can do all those things if you're not a member. What? You're just jealous that you're not a member of the club.
dude, I'm with you 100%. There are not many things whiter than country clubs.
There you go.
That's really solid.
You like that?
I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
All right. Well, it just gets better. Just gets better. I'm sure we're going to have some similarities at some point.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. In fact, my number 3 is very similar to one of yours. I had to kind of paint with a broad brush for a few of these. I went with just coffee. Not
Oh,
Starbucks, but
mm,
just coffee in general. White
okay.
people are always don't don't talk to me until I've had my
Yep.
coffee.
Yep.
Ugh, it's only white
That is
people
a
say
white
that.
person. Yeah, they're the people at work that bring that sign with them that says
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know. Yeah.
100%. Speaking of white people things, I mean, this is an honorable mention that I don't want to forget. Signs that say shit like that. That's some white people shit. Live, laugh, love. Don't
Oh,
talk to me till
wow. It's
dude.
honorable mention?
I mean, I'm mentioning it now because I will forget it. But yeah, 100%. So just coffee in general. They'll like, I drink coffee until it's time to switch over to wine. Like just little things like that. White people obsessed with coffee.
That's
It's a
good.
very white thing, and Starbucks obviously falls into that realm of white people being obsessed with coffee.
That's good. That's good. All right. Wow, here we go. Number 3 on Brandon's top 5 things that white people love list. Number 3, I went with camping. Camping
Mm,
is such a white person thing. I
mm.
mean, only white people get hyped to use their vacation time to pack up their belongings and go into the woods and
Yep.
sleep there and build a fire and sit around it and get fucking sweaty and bug bites and poison ivy and all the lovely things that the woods have to offer. So camping is a solid number 3. I know I might have to not get him out of here. All right. Damn it, Gus. What are you doing, man? You're throwing me out of off my loop here. Come on, get out of here. All right. So yeah, so number 3, camping. That's where
Yeah,
we're
no,
at.
that is
Hold on one
rock
second.
solid.
Sorry about that. All right, we're
Okay.
back.
All good. Yeah, that's rock solid. If I think camping, I immediately think white people. That's really, really good. For my number 2 pick, it's something that white people go crazy for. They can't seem to get enough of, and that's boats. White people fucking
Mm-hmm.
love
And
boats.
they love telling everybody they got a
And
boat.
they dude, they cannot wait to tell all their friends, guess what I did last weekend? I went on a boat ride. There was the water, and then there was a boat, and I was on a boat. That's white people. Boats are some of the whitest things on planet Earth. And we love them. We love boats. We love bragging about being on boats. We can't wait to get on the next boat. Boats.
Boats.
Boats are some
That's
white ass shit.
that's a solid one. And so far, we have no similarities in our lists. So this
Coffee and
is
Starbucks, kind of,
well,
but yeah,
okay, similarity, but not
not the
identical.
same.
You know,
Which
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. I love
yeah.
that.
All right, so Wow, we're getting close to that number one spot.
Very close.
Number two, I went with something that only white people have ever told me about. Um, as far as I mean, anybody that has found interest in it has always been a white person. Um, when you see the people in the crowd, Josh, at these events, it's very, very white. I'm talking about a little thing that America calls NASCAR. NASCAR is whiter than chalk, my friend. It is as white as it gets.
It really
And
is.
I mean, yes, we have, we've had, racers that weren't white. But when we're talking about the audience, the people that buy those jackets, the people that tell you, you got to go to a race. You ever been to Richmond? Those are the people that are extremely white. So
Yeah.
NASCAR is it's white. So when I think NASCAR, I think white people.
Yeah. Incredibly white.
Mhm.
Incredibly white. Yeah, I like that. Like that one a lot. Guess it's time for a number one overall pick.
There we go. Here we
Wow.
go.
Mine kind of came to me this morning when I was deliberating on this list, and
Okay.
I really tried to think of what do white people love more than anything, and what do other ethnicities and cultures they love, but nowhere close to the level of white people. And I went with pets, dogs,
Mhm.
cats, birds, hamsters. I've I've had a lot of black friends and Hispanic friends, and they don't
Reptiles. That's
reptile. Dude,
Oh yeah.
we keep birds in cages and shit. Dude, they other people they will not treat an animal the way we do. And it's crazy what the lengths that white people will go through for their pets. One of my friends had their dog needed surgery, spent $3,000 on a surgery for their dog, and it's just like only white people would fucking do that. So it's something that white people love their pets more than anything. They're the only people who use terms like "I'm a dog mom." That's very much a white thing. So I went with pets in the number one things white people love overall.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree with you. I agree in the sentiment, but also the thing is like I do think there's people that aren't white that love their dog,
Of
right? There's
course. Of
dogs and
course.
cats, they're different. But yes, everything outside of that, when we're talking about
Yes.
birds and fucking rodents and
Birds,
reptiles,
rodents,
that's
reptiles, fish.
definitely that's a white person thing. So yes,
Yeah, and that's kind of
absolutely.
what I was getting at. Just like holding things hostage is a
Yes,
very
yes,
white thing.
it is.
And that's really
Oh,
pet
yes, it
ownership.
is. Trapped and contained. That's what
Yeah,
white people like.
that's some white shit right there.
Well, speaking of white shit, my number one spot, it's it's trapped and contained. It's trapped and contained in a jar. And it is a little thing that we like to call mayonnaise. Mayonnaise makes
Oh,
my
yeah.
number one spot of things white people love because white people fucking love mayonnaise. It goes great with so many things burgers, sandwiches, French fries. Have you tried it? Do
Love it.
yourself a favor. Put a big dab of fucking mayonnaise on that shit, and you will not be disappointed. Onion rings, why not? I mean, the list goes on and on and on, Josh. But I myself, big fan of my number one selection here, so that's why it helped make the number one spot for my things white people love list.
Yeah, phenomenal pick. And it's also one of the whitest things in the world. It's not just something white people love, it's a very white thing, is mayonnaise. So that's really, really solid.
Good. All right. There
Honorable
you have it.
mentions?
Honorable mentions. I mean, I really didn't have any, to be honest with
Okay.
you, unfortunately. But while we were talking, and I touched on it with the Starbucks. Um, you know, bitching and complaining about shit that's not your business, being
Yes.
nosy. That's a white person thing.
Mm.
Just all up in everybody else's
Yep.
shit. Such a white person thing.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, being nosy could have
Yeah.
easily been in either one of our top 5.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And it's a peeve of mine.
Yeah, no doubt. I know one of them in my honorable mentions list right here. One of them we mentioned when we first brought this subject up, that we both had. But my list real quick is virtue signaling, pumpkins, yoga, Taylor
That's right.
Swift,
That's right.
colonialism, and golf. So I
Nice.
I could have had any of those in there. Virtue signaling is probably the one I wish I had put in there because that's a very 2022 or 2023 white person thing. But yeah, pumpkins kind of goes with your Starbucks. Yoga is just so.
See, I thought you were
blatantly
going to keep yoga in your list, which is why I booted it out. But
Oh
doesn't
no, it's an
matter.
honorable mention.
Doesn't matter. We got that in there. Now that I'm thinking about it, monster trucks.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, come on. That's a white person thing. The only
Yeah.
person that's going to say, "Hey, you want to go to the monster truck show?" They're going to be white. I'm sorry.
100%. And they're gonna be in the NASCAR crowd.
Yes, they go hand in hand. And big trucks in general. Just having a big truck.
Dude,
That's just a
so
white person
annoying.
thing. Whether you're a woman or a man, they just like having big fucking trucks, or putting a little truck on big fucking wheels. Like, look at my little truck and big wheels. Like, yeah, it looks weird. What are you doing? You look like a fucking idiot driving around in that thing. Hopefully you didn't spend too
So white.
much.
Dude, is so fucking white. You're 100% correct on that. But the list could go miles long.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true. We could have a whole episode dedicated
We could have
to
a
this.
we could have a spin-off show on Brash Plus called Things White People Love and
Yeah.
just dive into these every single day. So anyway,
Well, there
I
you
love
have
our
it.
lists, man. I love our lists. We nailed
That's
it.
it. Yeah, that was solid. I'm glad we were able to get that one in there. We have a few other ideas of things we want to touch on in the Brash World rankings, but the official Brash World rankings. But it's got to come naturally, and we have to really. Some of these are very difficult to rank. So
Yeah.
this one was a little bit easier. I didn't have to put as much thought into it. But some of them I'm gonna have to take seriously. But we're gonna keep these going episode after episode. So stay tuned.
People need to know how things are ranked, and we are the official governing body of ranking things.
We are.
So it is what it is.
All right. And if you want to, of course, submit your top 5 list of things white people love, you know where to send it. Cindy@brashsports.com, along with a copy of your resume. We will be back for episode 30 of season 2
Wow.
next week. So, hey, who knows? We might sneak in another episode before the draft. We'll see.
Fuck.
All right.
right.
Later, buddy.
See ya.
Peace.